Hey,
Hello.
good afternoon, everybody. And we see Agus and Loma right there. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to part two. Our Lomachenko versus Lopez media Zoom calls here. I don't think I need to go through all the details anymore. It is October 17th, live on ESPN and ESPN Deportes, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. All the lightweight belts on the line. WBC Franchise, WBA, WBO, Teofimo Lopez is IBF, and also Lomachenko is the Ring Magazine champion. One quick programming note: earlier this morning, we were proud to announce that Fight TV will be the official distributor of Lomachenko Lopez in the United Kingdom. Air Sport will televise the event live in Ireland. The Fight TV app. You can order that for £9.99. So we've got great partners in the UK and Ireland who are now signed on to provide the great boxing fans in those nations access to the fight. So before we begin with Lomachenko and your questions, we're going to keep it to one question per person because we have limited time here today. We want to get to as many people as possible. But before we get to the questions, I want to kick it to our CEO and chairman of Top Rank, Mr. Bob Arum. Bob, opening comments when you're ready, sir. Bob? He's on mute. Bob. All right. Well, we'll get to Bob in a moment. Joining us from Camarillo, California, in his training camp is the champ, Vasiliy Lomachenko, and his manager, the multiple-time BWAA Manager of the Year, Mr. Agus Klimas, who will also be providing translation when needed and will be available to answer questions from the media as well. Vasiliy, welcome today. And can you talk to everybody in attendance today about preparation and how you're feeling 1 week before fight week?
I feel great. Preparation was very good. We're ready on 100%, and we can't wait October 17.
And Bob, if you are there, please go ahead. You are unmuted, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm really looking forward to this fight, as is every boxing fan. I watched last week Loma train for the fight. Believe me, he is 150% ready for this fight. We talked with Teofimo yesterday, and he is confident and looks in great shape. This should be a tremendous battle, and all I can say is this has all the ingredients of a major event. I want to thank ESPN for giving us the wherewithal to do this event on free television in these very difficult times. I think it would be unseemly to try to do an event like this on pay-per-view when so many people are really in harm's way and are out of work.
Thank you, Bob. And as yesterday, anybody wants to ask Bob, Loma, or Agus a question, please use the raise hand mechanism on the Zoom or privately message me in the chat. And if you can't figure that out, do what some of you did yesterday, and you can just text me directly to ask a question. So I'm going to wait a few seconds while we get some hands raised over in the chat queue. Let's start out with Miguel Maravilla. You are being asked to unmute, so please unmute and ask a question when ready, sir.
Hi, Bob. How's it going? First of all, how's this fight going to compare to some of your classic fights that you've promoted in the past? Are you anticipating this to be an all-time classic?
Well, it certainly has the ingredients. But of course, like everything else, it will depend on how the fight unfolds on October 17th. But certainly it has the ingredients to be a real classic. But again, one never knows. Look what happened on Saturday. Two guys, good fighters, relatively unheralded, and they gave a fight for the ages, Baranchek and Zepeda. So I hope this will be a great fight, and we'll see on October 17th.
Thank you, Miguel. And now we move over to Keith Idek from Boxing Scene. Keith, please go ahead when ready, sir.
My question is for Vasiliy. Vasiliy, yesterday, Teofimo Lopez said that he's underestimated as a boxer, that he's not just a puncher. I was just wondering if you could tell us what you think of his boxing ability and his boxing IQ.
Вчера Теофимо сказал, что он недооценен как боксер. Хотели бы услышать твое мнение про его боксинг IQ и про его...
So we can check it at October 17. He has a good punch. He has a very good speed. He has IQ. He's young. He's hungry. But we'll see. We always can compare our level in the ring, our boxing skill, only then we fight with top fighters.
Thank you very much, Keith. And next week we go to our first question over from the UK, where again it'll be available on Fight on the DTC platform. Umar Ahmed, please go ahead when ready, sir.
Hi, Vasiliy. Hope we're all doing well. Of course, in the build-up, we've heard a lot of trash talk from Teofimo and his father. It seems like there's a personal element for them when they fight you. Is there any personal feeling towards Teofimo as you go into this fight?
Есть какие-то персональные чувства за то, что и папа, и он говорят полностью вот этот трэш?
Absolutely not. I have a goal, I have a dream, and he hold a belt, IBF title, and I need this belt. And Saturday, October 17, I will try take this belt.
Thank you very much, Umar. Next, we go over from ESPN.com. Cameron Wolf. Cameron, please fire away when ready, sir.
Yeah, this is for Bob first, and maybe Vasiliy can jump in as well. Obviously, Vasiliy has been one of the best pound-for-pound boxers, for years now. What does a win on October 17th mean for him and maybe his legacy?
Well, this is a big fight for Loma, and he will go down in history as the greatest amateur fighter in the world, with a meteoric professional record. We've matched him with the best fighters that we can find. He's always come through, and obviously this fight will continue his legacy should he be successful.
And same question for Vasiliy.
Что для тебя вот такого вида боя, что для тебя значит для легенды?
I always, then I came in professional boxing, I always wanted fight only with the top fighters, with a world champion, and now I have a top fighter in front of me, and I want only to improve who I am and to improve my legacy.
Thank you very much, Vasiliy, and thank you, Cameron. Next, we go again across the pond from the Athletics' Sarah Shepard. Sarah, please go ahead when ready.
Thanks, guys. This is a question to whoever's best placed to answer it, really. So we've obviously heard there's no rematch clause in the contract, and I wondered why that was and whose decision ultimately that was to have no rematch clause in there.
Let me answer that. I don't believe in rematch clauses. Rematch clauses are in essence, overused thanks to our friend Eddie Hearn. He puts a rematch clause in every contract. And that may indicate that he is not confident in how his fighter will perform. As far as I'm concerned, let them fight. There'll be a winner, there'll be a loser. And if down the road they want a rematch, that's up to them. But I'm not requiring, and I don't like to require, a rematch in any contract that I do.
Thanks, Bob.
All right. Next, we go over to Marquise Johns. Marquise, please go ahead when ready.
Thank you, Evan. Question just for Vasiliy on this one, actually. Just after this unification bout at 135, did you have any plans on actually staying at 135, or were you had the ideas of moving down afterwards?
It depends what happened after this fight. It depends what we can organize. I can fight 130 and 135. For me, it doesn't matter. What better choice will be? I choose best choice for me.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Carlos Toro, please go ahead when ready, sir.
Thanks so much for taking time to talk to us. Bob, I remember a couple of weeks ago on the Josh Taylor, Jose Ramirez media call, you were talking about potentially having some type of protocol that would maybe allow fans to enter events starting maybe in December. And then obviously in this one, you're going to having first responders, not necessarily paying fans for Lomachenko versus Lopez. Is this event sort of maybe a trial run for that protocol that you've been working with the state of Nevada, or is this just a one-time thing as you sort of try to keep working on making a protocol to get paying fans into events?
That is absolutely correct. This is a trial run to see how this works with the protocol and so forth. The 250 people who will be watching the event, other than the usual people that we've had in the bubble, will have to follow the protocols. We want to make sure that they're safe, and that will, I believe, lead to paying fans in the future on a limited basis. We're working very, very closely with the Athletic Commission and with the governor's office. Governor Sisolak has done a tremendous job keeping this coronavirus under control, and we're going to be very safe and cautious. But you're absolutely right. We hope this will lead to events where we can have paying spectators, safe distance, and a limited basis. For example, if we go into the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, which seats 65,000 in the stands, another 10,000 on the turf, probably hope to maybe put 15,000 people at most in. So again, we're all working very, very hard. We worked really hard to get the bubble going. Everybody cooperated. The state was fantastic, the Athletic Commission, and now we're moving on to the next step, because who the hell knows when this coronavirus scare will be over, when we will get a safe and working vaccine. So we have to really make these one step at a time. The 250 people, we're making some seats available to the fighters' families and loved ones, and the rest will go to first responders, to whom we all owe a tremendous debt of gratitude.
Thank you very much, Carlos. And next we go to a man with a different background today. I shamed him into changing the Yankee background. Sean Zattel, please go ahead.
Hey, Vasiliy, thanks a lot, champ, for giving us some time. You said in episode 1 of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, we have a little bit different rules in our country. You can't just talk. If he were in my country, he'd learn pretty quickly that he can't run his mouth like that. What exactly would he learn in your country for saying the things he said that you feel he hasn't learned here? Or what is it that's different in that aspect from here to the Ukraine?
В первом эпизоде ты сказал, что по поводу меня в нашей стране так нельзя говорить. Если ты говоришь, что должен быть готов ответить за это. Ты можешь как бы вот это более подробнее объяснить, что ты этим хотел сказать?
Там я хотел сказать, if I can answer in Russian because it's more easily for me explain what I mean, okay?
No, thank you.
And I can translate. Я имел в виду, что у нас в стране как бы не так жестко с правилами и не так жестко с законами, как в Америке. Поэтому если ты там что-то говоришь, тебя вправе просто-напросто, если ты обидел кого-то, оскорбил кого-то, если ты сказал какую-то обидную вещь, тебя просто-напросто могут ударить, и никто тебя не будет спрашивать, тебе сразу дадут ответ на твое действие. Здесь же ты не можешь этого сделать, потому что сразу же тебя заберут в полицию, ты нарушил закон.
Back home, we don't have, back home, we don't have such a strict law rules. Here in the States, there is a very strict law rules. So back home, if you insult somebody and you said something which is insult or your friends or something, so you can get hit and you can get in a fist fight right on the street and nothing gonna happen if you beat somebody and you just walk away. Here in the States, the completely different law. And that's why that's what I was trying to mean it, because back home, people not running mouth like this because they know they will have to answer it somehow.
Thanks, Tam.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you for that. Next, we go back to the UK to Gareth A. Davies. Gareth, please unmute and ask your question when ready, sir.
Good evening, London calling, as you know. Good evening to the great Bob Arum and Vasil, who's grinning at me. The last time I saw Vasil, I think I threw a kick at his head and then he was going to kill me. Anyway, my question, first of all, I've one for Bob and one for Vasil, is Bob, this is probably the most significant contest globally that we have seen since the pandemic lockdown. How are you able to fiscally, to financially underwrite this fight, this undisputed fight at lightweight?
Well, you're right, and it's very expensive, and the fighters have to get paid because it's such a major fight. We couldn't have done it without ESPN. ESPN really are supporters of the sport. They don't just use the sport, they support it, and they are giving us the wherewithal to put this event on. Unlike what happens in the UK, where you have one outfit like Sky Sports with just money grabs and puts everything on pay-per-view. But I see even in the UK where BT Sports has stepped up to the plate, and they are giving their subscribers without extra money with Dubois and Joyce, which is an excellent heavyweight fight. Any fight that Eddie Hearn does, whether it's a major fight or a minor fight, they put on pay-per-view because Sky Sports is apparently only interested in a money grab. Soak the boxing fans for whatever they can.
Bob, just finally on that little bit, it is the most significant fight so far that we've seen during pandemic lockdown. Do we need to start putting these contests together because we don't know when crowds are truly going to return?
You're absolutely right. Look what we've done. It's not on the same level, but on Friday, a great featherweight championship fight with Navarrete against Villa, who's undefeated featherweight. That's a really good quality fight, and that'll be on ESPN. And then later on in November, we have Terence Crawford against Kell Brook, which is a very expensive fight, and that'll be on the linear platform of ESPN. And in December, we have a marvelous junior lightweight championship, Burchelt and Valdez, and that'll be on ESPN without soaking people. These networks have to understand how people are hurting, how many people in this country and in the UK are out of work because of this pandemic. And you can't really, I think it's really immoral to require people to spend money watching their favorite sport every week, every other week. What Sky Sports is doing in the UK is an absolute disgrace. I don't care if they never buy a fight from me. What they're doing now is a disgrace.
Well, thank you, Bob, and thank you, Gareth, for that. Next we go to Ben Baby from ESPN. Ben, go ahead, sir.
All right. Well, to follow that up, Loma, do you feel like, you didn't, the Luke Campbell fight wasn't a stoppage in the last one, but either way, you've been on a pretty good tear here recently. I mean, do you feel like this fight is a way for you to cement yourself as the most dominant guy in the sport, pound for pound?
Ты был уже в больших боях. Ты думаешь, что этот бой для тебя будет самый большой бой, которого ты пройдешь?
I don't know. I can compare after this fight and I can answer on this question, but we'll see. I know he's a top fighter. He is a good fighter. It will be not easy for me, but we'll see.
Thank you very much. We just a heads up, only got a couple more questions left because Loma's got to get out of here around the top of the hour. And just a reminder, this will be available on our Top Rank YouTube channel after it's done. So, and all content providers out there, feel free to take content from this presser and share to your viewers and listeners as well. We have no issue. With that. So, a couple more questions. We go to Adriana Jimenez. I've asked you to unmute, so please unmute and ask your question.
Hi, Vasiliy. Hope you're doing well. Looking forward to the fight. I'm curious to see your thoughts and your reaction when you hear when Teofimo Lopez so confidently says that he feels like he'll win, but not just a regular win, but he's able to knock you out. I'm curious to see what your thoughts are when you hear that, and how do you visualize yourself winning that night?
Когда ты слышишь, что Теофимо Лопес говорит, что он тебя нокаутирует, не только выиграет, а он тебя еще и нокаутирует, что ты можешь прокомментировать по поводу этого, когда ты слышишь?
Я слышал, I heard this a lot of time from a lot of boxer, but it's not mean. Then you come in the ring, you forgot about your words, and you forgot about what you promised. You just try boxing, and you just try fighting. So for me, it's just trash talk. For me, it's just the words. We'll see what happened in the ring.
Thank you very much, Adriana. And we go to one last question from the UK. Boxing UK, please ask your question when ready, sir.
Thank you, Evan. Question for Vasiliy, please. Vasiliy, one of the things that Teo Lopez has described you as an old lion, and that the effect of 400 amateur fights will have taken its toll. Do you think age will play a factor in this fight?
Еще один фактор, который мы слышали от Лопеса, потому что ты уже старый лев. И ты думаешь, что в этом бою возраст как-то повлияет на это?
I don't think about age, because I just 32 years old. Who кто определил?
Who made the rules?
Who made the rules about age in the boxing? It depends. Как сказать? Это зависит это лично от каждого зависит. Кто-то стареет в 32, кто-то стареет в 37, кто-то в 45.
It depends on the personal lifestyle.
It depends on the personal lifestyle. Somebody stay older and at 27 and at 30. Somebody in 45, 47. I feel great and I feel young.
Somebody says Bob Arum is old, and somebody says Bob Arum is a still young man, and
Arum is
he's
a
a
young
bright
guy,
man.
young
So
buck, right.
that answers your question.
Age is just a number. You know, age,
Exactly.
what George Foreman said. Age is just a number, and he won the heavyweight championship at age 45.
Evan, can we ask Bob one quick one?
One last question for Bob, please. That's it.
Thank you, Evan.
Bob, how you feel?
You hear him? I don't hear.
Sorry, you're unmuted. Sorry, go ahead again.
Sorry, Bob. The last time we saw yourself with Vasiliy in the UK was over a year ago, and your relationship with Eddie seemed quite cordial. If your last couple of answers or anything to go by, has anything happened since?
No, I know. I like Eddie. I mean, if Eddie can grab the money from, and of course Sky won't give him money to do significant fights, he has no other choice but to do it on pay-per-view. I'm sure if Sky really supported boxing and put up money to see some of these fights, which are good fights, but are not pay-per-view quality, like, and Igas will object, like Usyk and Chisora. That's a good fight, but it's not a pay-per-view fight. Why the hell isn't Sky buying that fight to show it to their subscribers without soaking them 25 quid, right? I mean, it's wrong. Is it wrong? There's a point of time, particularly in now with what everybody is going through, where these networks have to understand that this is the time for them to give back. And that's what ESPN has done. That's why everybody in America can watch Lomachenko Lopez without spending 5 cents. And that's all credit to ESPN. And they did it not just for this fight, they're doing it for the rest of the year. That's pretty good. That's when people talk about a network like ESPN, you have to give them credit for doing this.
Thank you very much, Bob. And sorry for everybody who didn't get to ask questions today. Our time is up here. Quick reminder, October 17th, ESPN Deportes, 10 o'clock, and then Fight, the DTC platform in the UK, Air Sport in Ireland. Everybody can watch the fight. Thank you very much, Vasiliy. Thank you very much, Igas. Thank you very much, Bob. And we will see you guys next week. Have a great day.